Welcome back to another episode. Here we are today talking about Bushman fridge versus Englewood Waco's, the chest one. So stay tuned, it's going to be good. Alright, so let's talk about the pros of the Bushman fridge. So it's obviously got lots of pros in the fact that many people have them. The fact that it's upright, it's really easy to get to everything. It's got a few nice little features such as that for your bigger bottles and stuff. It's got a crisper, got lights, it's got a temperature gauge, it's got all those kind of things. Cans can fit in here. It's probably on the cheaper side of fridges. The main thing is, does what it needs to do. It keeps things really cold and it's on the cheaper side of things. It's also really easy to get stuff out of, and I think that's our #1 reason why we have it. The fact that you can use this stuff, you can cook here and you can grab something out of the fridge, makes it so much easier to camp, especially if you're in a hurry or you're hiding from the rain. It makes it such a comfortable setup to have. On the other hand, there are some cons to this kind of fridge. The main one is that obviously a lot of people talk about is the fact that when you open the door, the cool air may easily flow out. That is because obviously you open such a large space, cold air sinks and it just kind of comes out the bottom here. The only good thing about this fridge in regards to the cold air coming out is that you can grab stuff and close the door pretty quick, so that's not too bad. The other thing is it's mounted in here. If anything goes wrong or we don't have the option to take it out and, you know, take it with us on a day trip or something if we're going in another car. The other thing is that they are on the cheaper side, so things may go wrong with the motors. They may not be the top quality of Engel and Waco. The other thing is, I guess, the ruggedness. You got to make sure they're really in here tight because they're not built like those other Engels. The structure on the outside is quite vulnerable to getting damaged, so that's why the cages and the frames that go around them are quite important. A few other little things is, if you have it in a canopy like this and the door can't open all the way, you kind of get stuck with not being able to open your crisper all the way or pull the shelves out, so those things can be a little bit annoying. The other thing is it works purely off the freezer, so if the freezer has broken, then your whole fridge is broken. And the fact that the freezer also frosts up quite a bit, meaning you open the door, starts to melt, close the door, it freezes again, and then over time this builds up quite a bit. Every so often we have to fully turn it off and then defrost the freezer. The other thing is this. The door came off the freezer. I guess that is the quality of it. It might not be, again, as high as other brands, so little things like that may happen. They are fixable, but that does happen occasionally with these kind of fridges. I guess the pros and cons for the Engels and the Wacos and the chest fridges are pretty much the opposite of this. The fact that it's a little bit more versatile, you can take it out, you can take it with you, the cold air stays in every time you open it up, and the fact that they're a bit more rugged and they're probably built a bit better. They also have that cover that also gives it that extra insulation that you're looking for when you're having to leave it out in the sun or whatnot. The other thing is, with the clips on a Waco Engel style fridge, is that you can clip it really tight, whereas all we have here is that kind of clip. It doesn't pull it tight, it kind of just stops it from opening. So that's another pro and con about these fridges. Cons for the Engel fridge, I guess, is the fact that you gotta rifle through them. You gotta dig deep and find something every single time, unless you're really, really organized. So that is something that we didn't like about them. The other thing is that with this style canopy, with an Engel or Waco style fridge, we would have had to buy a fridge slide, whereas we did like the fact that this was really compact. You could just work here, cook here, and then open the fridge, grab what you want, and then close the fridge. There's no sliding things, and that way we saved on weight. These would be lighter than a fridge slide plus the fridge. We thought that's another benefit of these fridges. So I guess the pros and cons really depend on your setup, your personal preference, and people are very loyal to certain brands, so that's a big thing. The other thing is, if you want to spend the extra money on something like a Waco or an Engel, it's probably going to last you a lot longer than a fridge like this. Saying this, we're over the moon with the fact that this has lasted us 2 years and it's still going strong. We couldn't be happier with this kind of setup. Thanks for watching. That's just a quick overview of this fridge versus other style fridges and why we chose this one in this certain setup. Keep watching, subscribe. See you next time.